Hi everyone, welcome to my Hodge Podge trivia webinar. Just give it a couple of minutes, the last minute people to arrive. Can everybody see my screen okay? And everybody can hear me? I guess you can since you're answering. That's great. So what I suggest, so everybody has a chance to answer the questions and stuff like that, is just take out a pen and paper and write it down. And like after I read each question, I'll give everybody a minute to, think about it or research or whatever you want to do there before I say the answer, okay? So is everybody ready to start? My name's Lisa too, by the way, for those of you that haven't had the pleasure. Okay. Alrighty then. Okay, we have a couple more people that just arrived. So, like I said, just take out a piece of paper and a pen instead of typing your answers here, just so everybody has a chance to come up with the answer on their own and give them a chance to. So, okay, so we'll begin now. First question. Okay. What is an eponym? A, is it an abbreviation of words or a phrase? B, is it a person, place, or thing after whom something is named? Which one do you think an eponym is? A, is it an abbreviation of words or a phrase, or is a person, place, or thing after whom something is named? Okay. Well, let's see what the answer is. B. Eponym is a person, place, or thing after whom something is named. An acronym is actually an abbreviation of words or a phrase. Like, for example, COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. So that's the difference between an eponym and an acronym. And an eponym would be like Alzheimer's disease because it's named after somebody. I forget who. Get it? Okay, so let's see. The next question is, and that's a long one. Thanks, Jennifer. Number 2, what is a digital version of a paper chart that contains all of a patient's medical history from one practice? It is the record clinicians maintain on their own patients, which details demographics, medical and drug history, and diagnostic information such as laboratory results and findings from diagnostic imaging. Is it A, EMR, as in electronic medical record, or B, EHR, electronic health record? So which do you think it would be? A patient's medical history from one practice? I'll give you a chance to read over that. It's kind of a long one. Okay, you guys are cheating. You're writing down the answer. Oh, highly so we can see the answer on the next slide. Don't look at it. Don't peek. No peeking. Wonder if I do this. Can you still see it now? The answer? No? Okay, good. Aha. I didn't think it showed up that well for everybody to see. Thanks for letting me know. Okay. So the answer for number 2 is actually A. It's electronic medical record. And here's the thing. An EHR is a health record of an individual that is accessible online from many separate interoperable automatic systems within an electronic network. See, there's the difference. An EHR, that's from several different places that it can be accessed, where the EMR is just one. And see, when I go back here, see, here's where the difference lies. It's just the medical history from one practice. That's an EMR. But when you get information online from many different places, then it's electronic health record. It's EHR. A few of the students were getting mixed up on that. So, and it's in your book of style as well, explaining the two things back in where your abbreviations are in back of the book. Okay. So remember that A is the correct answer, EMR. And that stands for electronic medical record. Okay? Okay, so your third question is, which word is spelled correctly? A, curette, C-U-R-E-T, or B, curette, C-U-R-E-E, or C-U-R-E-T-T-E. Remember, give a minute. Don't just write the answer in there. Give everybody a chance to think about it or write it down on a piece of paper. I know I will get this one right because I called in yesterday about the same word. That's funny, Jennifer. Oh, Sarah's saying B. Okay. So you ready for this, people? Fooled you. Both spellings are acceptable. So remember that. That's right, Sandra. So remember that. These two, both of them, both spellings are correct. Okay, next question. Dictated as 30 cc, which of the following would be the correct way to transcribe it? A, 30 cc, B, 30 small m capital L, or C, 30 small m small l. And like I said, don't be too quick to put in the answers there. Just give everybody a chance to think about it first for a minute. You can just write it down on a piece of paper. Yes, Sandra, it's liquid. Welcome. Okay. It would be B, 30 small m capital L. CC is a dangerous abbreviation. So, and ML is incorrect. If you go to Book of Style 12.1.5, you'll see the proper abbreviated forms of ML or L or whatever. Okay, and as far as a list of the dangerous abbreviations, if you go in your Book of Style 9.3.1 and 9.3.2 has a list in there. Okay, let's see here. Number 5, Gleason grading system is for what type of cancer? Is it A, ovarian cancer, B, colorectal cancer, or C, prostate cancer? Everybody a minute. I should have that sound in the background like they have on that game show. What's it called? With Jeopardy, yeah, Alex Trebek. Okay, let's see what the answer is. C, prostate cancer. So A, for the ovarian cancer, that's the FIGO staging system, and Duke's staging system is for colorectal cancer. Okay, and you can find that too. It's in the Book of Style. I should have wrote down that boss number. Should be in oncology, I think, chapter. Let me just check to see. Or actually, it's in different chapters. But there is the Duke's is in the oncology chapter, which is 16. It has a few others, and the Gleason and the FIGO. I guess they're all in there. So on chapter 16 in your Book of Style, you'll find that. That's right, Megan. Megan's all over it. 16.2.2. That's right. Exactly. Okay, so the next question. The smallest bones in the human body are found where? A, ear, B, wrist, or C, foot? The smallest bones in the human body are found where? In the ear, the bones in your ear are called stapes. A, ear, stapes. Stapes or stirrup is a bone in the middle ear of humans and other animals, which is involved in the conduction of sound vibrations to the inner ear. Does anybody know the name of the other couple of bones that are right beside the stapes in your ear? Nobody? Come on now, I know somebody knows. That's right. And do you know what the other name is for those? Yeah, they're ossicles, but they're also called something else. Hammer and anvil. That's right, Sarah. Exactly. Bonus points for you guys. Very good. Okay, 7. What is a term commonly used for an itchy skin condition called tinea pedis? Is it A, athlete's foot, or B, psoriasis? Okay, it's actually athlete's foot. Athlete's foot is otherwise known in the medical is as far as medical words go. Tinea pedis is a fungal infection that usually begins between the toes. It commonly occurs in people whose feet have become very sweaty while confined within tight-fitting shoes. And of course, one of the better things if you have that is Absorbine Junior, but it stings. Let me tell you, I've had that once, and I put that on. Oh, baby. I will not even begin to tell you the nice fancy words that came out of my mouth. It hurts is all I can say. And tea tree oil. Oh, is that right, Joanne? Okay. Good to know. I would suggest using that. Okay, next question is 8. If a person suffers from encephalitis, what body organ is inflamed? Is it A, the kidney, B, the liver, C, the brain? Let's see here. The brain. That's right, number C, the brain. Encephalitis is an acute inflammation, in other words, swelling, of the brain, usually resulting from either a viral infection or due to the body's own immune system mistakenly attacking brain tissue. Okay, let's see. The next question, 9. What does the prefix myo stand for in the word myocardial? Is it A, tendon, B, muscle, C, cartilage? The prefix myo, M-Y-O. That's right, B, muscle. A, tendon is the prefix for tendon is T-E-N or T-E-N-D-I-N, and cartilage is chondro, C-H-O-N-D-R. Okay, number 10. A common term for cerebrovascular accident is A, stroke, B, heart attack. And just give it a few minutes. Don't put your answer in right away. Give everybody a chance to think about it. Common term for cerebrovascular accident. A, stroke, B, heart attack. That's right, it's A, stroke. Myocardial infarction, commonly known as a heart attack. And you'll hear in a lot of the reports too, they'll say MI, and that's what it stands for, myocardial infarction. And remember, it's infarction, I-N-F-A-R-C-T-I-O-N. I notice a lot of students put infraction. So remember, it's infarction. Okay. 11. According to the Book of Style, if any word stands alone on a line below a heading, a period should not be used. Is it A, true, or B, false? According to the Book of Style, if any word stands alone on a line below a period, below a heading, a period should not be used. True or false? Let's see, false. This applies only to a name or a date. So remember that. So I have a couple of examples here. So if you have the heading date and then, your May 30th, 1993, you don't have to put a period after that. And the same with if you see name and just the name underneath, or, sometime you'll see surgeon and then doctor name underneath. You don't have to put a period after those because they stand alone. Is it wrong if we do put a period? No, we don't usually mark it wrong. We usually just comment on it, or that's what I do. And I'm sure the other girls do the same thing. But no, we won't mark it wrong. But anyway, you don't have to. And the same too with when you have a heading, estimated blood loss, and then underneath they'll say 30 ml. you don't have to put a period after that either. But I have to. Okay. I've had it marked. I've had it marked as a fault. Oh, have you? Well, see, I'm just nice like that. I just comment instead of deducting. I mean, it can be a deduction because it goes against the book style rules, but usually I just kind of let it go and mention it. So let's see, next question. Okay, number 12. When dictated, it is acceptable to use the brief form appy when referring to appendectomy. A, true, B, false. When the doctor dictates, the patient had an appy back in 1993, for example, is it okay to use the short form or brief form, whichever you want to say, appy? B, false. In BOSS 2.4.1, slang, jargon, and brief forms are not to be used. Joanne, although it is becoming acceptable as an abbreviation. Corey, but what if the account specifics say verbatim? That verbatim rule only works if it doesn't interfere with other rules, okay? Now, when you get out there in the work world, now there could be some places that would accept that. You know what I mean? So that would be a case that you would have to find out if it's acceptable for them, whether, they don't mind you using short forms and brief forms or slang or jargon or anything like that. So welcome, Corey. Let's see here. Number 13, what does the metric abbreviation mmHg stand for? Is it A, millimeter of hemoglobin, or B, millimeter of mercury? Let's see, it's B, millimeter of mercury. Okay, it's the abbreviation that is often used when a blood pressure is dictated, like 120/80 millimeters of mercury, they'll say, or sometimes they'll say 120/80 mmHg, or sometimes they won't even say the mmHg, and if they don't, then you don't put it in. Or sometimes in an operative report too, you'll often hear a doctor say, he'll use the blood pressure cuff to cut off blood flow to a limb. So a lot of times you'll hear them say inflated cuff to 300 millimeters of mercury or mmHg or something like that. So anyway, that's what that stands for. 14, assessment of a newborn's condition. Is it A, APGAR in all caps, or B, APGAR, capital A, lowercase for the rest? Okay, the answer is B. You just use a capital because the all capped one, APGAR, is actually a family assessment. So if you look in BOSS 19.2.1, it'll explain the two differences. One's an APCAR score. This one, the way it's spelled here, is an APCAR score for a newborn's condition. But an APCAR this way is a questionnaire, and it's a family assessment. What's your question, Corey? That one made me think, but got it in the end. I know, that's why I tried to pick stuff that I see that students get wrong a lot. So says to transcribe the APCARs as APCAR score 7 at 1 minute and 8 at 5 minutes. I just did one that, so I did that, though it wasn't verbatim. For little baby. Oh, you got a protocol error, probably because you didn't use, see, according to the account specific rules, you would have to use Arabic numbers. And of course, the account specific rules trump the book of style. Joanne, I had the same problem because it was account specific. Doesn't matter if they're separated by anything, you still would use the numerals. Did I answer everybody's question? Everything was going by so quick. I don't know if I missed anything. Oh, Kim gave a good suggestion here. She said she always remembers little letters for little baby. Good one. And got it wrong because the dictator didn't say score. No, you don't put in. That's the thing. You don't put in added words that isn't dictated. So, yeah. If they just say APCAR, then that's all you put in is APCAR. You don't bother with the score. Okay. Let's see here. 15. What is the medical term for liver disease? Is it A, cirrhosis, or B, well, pronounced same thing, cirrhosis? Why would boss say to do that then? Well, that's our account specific rules are rules that we made up ourselves. Just like when you get out there in the work world, every hospital out there has their own set of account specifics. They don't care about the book of style rules or anything, or they don't base their account specifics on the book of style rules. So, you know, that's why the account specifics will always trump the book of style rules, because these hospitals pay these transcription companies big money to have their reports done a certain way. Like they'll send them account specifics saying, I want my reports done in this font with this font size. I want my headings all capped. I want this, I want that, blah, blah, blah. Well, that's why, I mean, if you want to keep that account, and they don't care what you think. They just want, all they want is, hey, I told you how I want my reports to appear, so when they come back to me, they best look like that, or I'll take my business elsewhere, in other words. So, and that's why we stress so much about following the account specifics and saying how the account specifics trump the book of style rules, because that's the way it is out there. Okay? I mean, there is some companies out there that don't bother with the book of style rules, period. So it just depends, where you go to work. But the bottom line is, always follow your account specifics, and they'll always trump the book of style rules. Let's see, answer A, the CIRRHOSIS, because the XEROSIS is abnormal dryness as seen in the eyes, skin, or mouth. Okay, 16. Pertaining to a lip or lip-like structure, is it A, labial, L-A-B-I-A-L, or B, labile, L-A-B-I-L-E? I'll give you a minute to think about that. The book of, or the account specifics will always trump book of style rules, so just know that. Okay, let's see what the answer is. A, labial, L-A-B-I-A-L. The other one, L-A-B-I-L-E, means unstable, as in labial blood pressure. Sometimes you'll hear them say that in physical exam section. Okay, let's see. 17. Which medical word refers to part of the hip bone? Is it A, ilium, I-L-L-I-U-M, or B, ilium, I-L-E-U-M? There is a hierarchy of resources in the course account specifics, and that is what you are supposed to use. That's right, Joanne, exactly. And with these sound-alikes that I threw in here, like this one and the last one and stuff, if you're not sure, in Appendix C in your book of style has a whole bunch of different sound-alike words. So if you ever come across a word that you're not sure, but there's probably a couple of different ways to spell it, just check out your Appendix C if you wanted to, and for sound-alikes in your book of style. Anyway, it is A, ilium, I-L-I-U-M. The other ilium is part of the small intestine. Okay. 18. What is the dictator meaning when he or she says vitals per emer? Is it A, vitals were taken in the emergency room? Or B, vitals are found in the electronic medical record? Let's see, it's B, vitals are found in the electronic medical record. Usually, a lot of times you'll hear it's usually a man, and he usually dictates all the words together as vitals per emer. So I know the first time I heard that, I thought, per emer? What the heck is a per emer? But then when you break it down, and a lot of times you have to do that, is you have to kind of, if you can't make out something they say, a lot of times if you try to separate it, then sometimes you can figure it out. Paper, I had B and wrote hey. Okay, 19. Which is formatted correctly? The patient was given over-the-counter drugs, and over-the-counter is all hyphenated, or B, the patient bought his cough syrup over the counter. Not hyphenated. Let's see, it's A, the patient was given over-the-counter drugs. This here is hyphenated because it's a compound modifier. It's modifying the noun drugs, where the other one here, see, comes at the end of the sentence, so it isn't modifying a noun, so therefore you wouldn't use hyphens. Okay. You always get that wrong, Joanne? Well, just think of it that way. If a noun follows, then you hyphenate it. If it doesn't, then you don't. Oh. Yes, they are. I meant to put this one in as on the answer thing to show that, anyway. Aha! Joanne wins the prize of the day. You get Sunday off, Joanne. Because she's right. And she caught it. That they're actually both correctly formatted. So just remember, if it comes at the end of a sentence without a noun following, then you wouldn't hyphenate it. But if there is a noun that follows it, then you would. Okay, then. So I'm going to change that and put both are correctly what did I say? Added. There we go. Okay, let's see. 20. According to the account specifics in the Book of Style, is it okay to begin a sentence with an Arabic number? Now, most people should get this right, surely. Either yes or no. Is it okay to begin a sentence with an Arabic number? The answer is no. No, no, no. Example. 55-year-old male patient seen in follow-up today. You would type a 55-year-old male patient seen in follow-up today, or you can spell out 55-year-old. No, well, I covered as far as the date and estimated blood loss in the other one. This here, I was meaning like a whole sentence. So, okay, so remember that. Do not start a sentence with an Arabic number. Place a in front of it, or you could even, like I said, in this case, you could write out 55. Okay? Which is the plural form? Diagnoses, SIS, or diagnoses, SES? That's right, B, SES, because the SIS is singular. Yeah. Most people do, Joanne, for sure. 22. According to the account specifics, when do you stack the physical exam section of a report? Is it A, when there is a subheading, or B, when there are more than one sentence of information? The answer is A, when there is a subheading. Even if it's just one subheading, you stack the physical exam. Okay? If there are no subheadings, then you would type it in paragraph format. But as long as there's a subheading, then you stack it. Which word refers to walking? A, gait, G-A-I-T, or B, gate, G-A-T-E? That would be B, G-A, did I say? Oh, That should be, get that A. Because gate, G-A-T-E, is a point of entry to a space which is enclosed by walls or a fence. So it's something you walk through, in other words. Okay. 24. What abbreviation, or, or plural, are considered dangerous abbreviations? A, QD, B, QD, C, CC. That's true, you can gate through a gate. Sandra's saying CC. Well, the answer is actually A and C. QD is a dangerous one too, so you should type daily. And for CC, type M, small m, capital L. QD, that's fine, so you would just type it verbatim. So, and like I mentioned earlier, in BOSS 9.3.1 and BOSS 9.3.2 is where you would find a list. Can you use QT? Q2, yes. Yeah, Q itself is fine. Q means every, and it's fine on its own. But if you have QD like that, then it's a dangerous abbreviation. But as far as Q on its own, no, that's fine. 25. Wait. When you use Q week, is there a space between the period and the week? Don't matter. I wouldn't deduct for that either way, whether you put a, I would put a space, but no biggie. You're welcome, Sandra. 25. According to the account specifics, do not transcribe a trailing zero in a drug dosage. Like there's example, 2.0 milligrams. A, true, B, false. According to the account specifics, do not transcribe a trailing zero in a drug dosage. True or false? The answer for that is A, true. Do not type a trailing zero in a dosage amount, even if dictated. The decimal could be missed and the patient could receive 10 times the intended dose. So for example, instead of this poor patient getting 2.0 milligrams, could end up getting 20 milligrams, and that certainly could be critical to patient care. Now that rule doesn't apply as far as lab tests goes, but as far as dosage amounts, do not. If they say 2 milligrams, do not put 2.0, even if dictated that way, okay? 26. Can you use contractions in a medical report? Like I've, or wasn't, WASN, apostrophe T, I apostrophe VE. A, yes, B, no. Which, anybody want to throw out something there just to see? No? Okay, the answer is yes, if it is used in a direct quote. So for example, I've asked the patient to describe the pain that he is experiencing, and he said, quote, "It's like I've got a horse standing on my chest." So when they're quoting what somebody else said, and if they're using contractions when they say it, then yes, you can use contractions. But if it isn't a direct quote, then no, you cannot use a contraction. You have to expand. So if that wasn't in a quote, I'd have to say it is Expand that to it is and expand that to I have. Okay, so everybody's clear on that? And that's in your account specifics. Also in book style rule there somewhere too. Everybody got it? Oh, didn't know there was more stuff. I want you to grade all my dictations. Sure. Jeez, look at all the stuff I was missing. Oh my goodness. A, but only in quotes. That's right. Nah, Sandra, wasn't a trick question. Yeah. Didn't I? Well, no. Not gonna give you that much of a hint, Sandra. Joanne, I never think of the quotes as it is a quote and needs to be done verbatim. Yes, thank you. This has been fun, but thanks. You're welcome. Let's see, what else do we have? 27. Which is formatted correctly according to the Book of Style rules? Cranial nerves 2 through 12 in Arabic numbers or in Roman numerals? Which is correct? Told you both sentences are correct. You can actually, both ways are acceptable, and if you look in BOSS 10.1.2, it'll say that you can use, in this case, you can use both. Either or are acceptable. Okay? Oh, I just give you the answer. Thyroid slightly firm without discrete or discrete, whichever one, mass or nodule. Is it A, discrete, or B, discrete? It would be B, discrete. Discrete, the D-I-S-C-R-E-E-T, means reserve in one's speech or behavior, where discrete, D-I-S-C-R-E-T-E, means separate or individually distinct, as in discrete mass. A lot of times you'll hear them dictate that in the physical exam section. And like I said, this stuff is all in your book of style in Appendix C for sound-alikes. Okay, which sentence is formatted correctly? The patient has 6-centimeter incision on his abdomen. Or B, the patient has a 6-centimeter typed out incision on his abdomen. Sandra says A. A for Corey. Okay. The patient has a 6-centimeter incision on his abdomen. That's correct. If you look at BOSS 12, 12.1.5, abbreviate when a number is dictated with the unit of measure. So always remember that. If there's a number dictated with it, then it'll always be an abbreviation. If they just say, oh, his incision was a few centimeters from his left sternal border or something like that, then you would type out centimeters because the number wasn't dictated. Okay, his LFTs are within normal limits. Is that correct or incorrect? That's right, it's incorrect. 9.2.3 or 8.1.7. When there's more than one uppercase letter, then you do not use an apostrophe. Now, if there's only one uppercase letter, then you can. But at more than one uppercase letter, do not use an apostrophe. Now, lowercase letters, you use an apostrophe. So if you're ever unsure about that, then definitely check your book of style. 31. The patient takes his pain meds BID. Is that correct or incorrect? Okay, that's right, it's incorrect. The correct way is B period I period D period. All Latin abbreviations are lowercase with periods. Okay, and then the BOSS 9.2.2, you'll find that. That's right, healthy. 32. HCT stands for hydrochlorothiazide. Is that A, true, or B, false? HCT stands for hydrochlorothiazide. That'd be false. HCT stands for hydrocortisone, and HCTZ stands for hydrochlorothiazide. So see how easily two drugs can be mistaken for others? That's you can refer to the account specifics or Book of Style 9.3.2. That's right. And that's why you don't use it. It's a dangerous abbreviation because it can be mistaken for one or the other. The only time that it's acceptable to use HCT is if it's a registered brand name, like for example, Benacar, HCT, then you can use that abbreviation because it's a registered brand name. Other than that, no, you have to spell it out. 33. The patient takes his medication 2 times a day, which is correctly transcribed according to the account specifics. Is it A, the patient takes his medication 2x a day, or B, the patient takes his medication 2 in the word times a day, or C, both ways are acceptable? Stumped you, huh? That's right, it's B. The patient takes the medication 2 times a day. So remember, when the word times is dictated after the number, then you have to write out times. But if they say times before the number, then you use X. So you can refer to your account specifics for that. So just remember that. If times is dictated after the number, then you spell out the word times and you put it after the way it was dictated. 34. Which is correctly formatted? Birth weight was 8 pounds with the abbreviations 4 ounces, or birth weight was 8 pounds 4 ounces, or C, birth weight was 8 pounds, 4 ounces. Sandra. Helby, B. That's right, B is correct. Birth weight 8 pounds 4 ounces. Do not abbreviate non-metric units of measure to express weight, etc. BOSS 12.2.2 is where you can find that. No comma. Nope. And like I said, if you go to BOSS 12.2.2, it'll show you that you don't use a comma to separate them. 35. I believe this is the last one, people. Which examples is or are hyphenated correctly according to Book of Star rules? A, 1-O nylon, B, O-nylon, C, 5 French catheter. Now, A is the only correct one. B, it should be 0 nylon, no hyphen. And French, 5 French catheter, 5 French should be hyphenated. So if you refer to BOSS 10.3.12, you'll see that. And there you have it, people. Future is learning. To become a successful MTHDS in the future. It's all about learning, and knowledge empowers you, right? And there you all having a big brainwave there, the big bright idea. Well, thank you, Joanne. I hope you all enjoyed the webinar. Like I said, I tried to pick things that I seen the students getting wrong most of the time. So I hope this helped. Sandra, well, this was good. I now see how much is actually embedded. I know the right answer without looking. Great, thank you. Yeah, that's another reason why I wanted to do this, so you can see how far you've came from, or how far you've come from when you first started, and, that sort of thing. Let's see. You're welcome, LV. Very helpful. Thank you. I enjoyed it. Well, I'm glad you all enjoyed it. Great webinar, good boost of confidence. You're welcome. Everybody have a great rest of the day. Where can I find? Sarah, just go to the forum, and that's where all the webinars are. Okay? And the forum's located right there, where your content button and your support and FAQ and all that. It's in that row. You have a wonderful day, Lisa. Got to take the dog for a walk and search goal. Okay. You're welcome. Thanks all. Bye-bye.